All right, guys, what's going on? Today we are doing a video going over a trade that I posted in advance inside the Pro Discord back in, was it April 13th, so almost a month ago. I said Flocky, a little high risk, showing bull divs on weekly and reclaimed key level, looking good for swing long. Obviously TP1, make risk free. And now it is just absolutely sending. So let's make this full screen for you guys. And let's go over why I took this trade and how you can do the same. So swing trading, you usually hold trades for a span of anywhere from, let's say, a week or two to sometimes months, if not up to a year. But usually within like the two weeks to 2 months, hold time is common with swing trades. All right, so the first thing I do before I enter a trade is I always go to a higher time frame. Since I'm taking this trade on the daily time frame because it's a swing trade, I don't really need to zoom out any higher than like the daily. But if we take a look at the weekly here, we did have some confluence on the weekly, right? Retesting this previous structure high. So whenever there's not that much price history on an asset, so for example on Flocky here, there's not that much to work with because this is a fairly new token, only been around for a few years or so. So there's not that much price history here. So the only really key level that I had was a retest of this structure high here, right? So breakout, retest, massive breakout and retest on a higher time frame. So that was some confluence, but mainly guys, I was just on a daily time frame and I saw this failure and reclaim. So this is a setup that I will take, 9 times out of 10. And let me actually turn off my easy algo indicators for a moment, and then I'll show you guys it with the easy algo indicators on as well. So what I saw here on the chart was I saw that we had this pivot low here. Okay, I saw that we had, this pivot low. Obviously, we're in a downtrend. We're making lower lows and lower highs, right? Lower lows and lower highs. Obviously, these lower highs are protected, right? Price is not coming up to make a higher high in any of these moves to the upside. We're just making lower low until this level. So first off, we perfectly retest that structure high that I had marked out, as you can see here. But we also had a swing failure pattern of this pivot low that I had marked out. So bears were trying to push price below this level, but couldn't successfully do that. You can see that we instantly reversed as soon as we closed below this level. So bears are trying to push the price lower. We retest that structure high and then immediately reclaim with that inverse head and shoulders, some people call, which is a bullish formation. This failure and reclaim only works under 2 conditions, okay? The first condition is that price does not displace, okay? Does not displace below this low. So displacement just means a strong bearish move down. So for example, if price did something like this, right, came all the way down here, I wouldn't be looking for a reclaim, okay? I'd be looking for a bearish retest at that point. But because price did not displace down below this low, we just swept this low, right? We came down for, a few days and then instantly reclaimed. That tells me that bears were not successful in pushing price lower. If bears were going to push price lower than this level here, then they would have already done it on this move down. But they couldn't do it, right? They tried to move price down, and then we instantly reclaimed this pivot low that I had marked out, and that was my bullish trigger, my long trigger, okay? The second condition that must be met for you to enter a failure and reclaim is a bullish divergence. This was the main reason why I entered this trade, and obviously this is using my easy algo indicator, right? My oscillator here, which is a momentum indicator that I have custom coded. You guys can click the first link in the description below if you guys want access to this indicator for yourself. But essentially what this indicator does is it measures the momentum in the market. So I can see as price made that lower low, right? From this pivot low here to this low here, you can see momentum is actually increasing to the upside. So wait a minute, price and momentum are doing the opposite. Right? Price is going lower, but momentum is increasing. This is referred to as a bullish divergence. This is a bullish formation. This is telling us that bulls are most likely going to step in soon and push price back to the upside. So because we had that bullish divergence and we had that swing failure pattern of this low with that reclaim, right, on this candle right here, on this daily candle that closed back above this low, that kind of confirmed to me in that moment that, okay, if bears were able to push price lower, they would have done it, but they can't do it. They're not strong enough. There's too much buying pressure at this level. Bulls have stepped in. We're seeing bullish divergences. That's my trade entry, right? As soon as that bullish divergence confirms and we reclaim that low here on this bullish candle, that is where I entered the swing long position, right? I think it was actually a few daily candles after, right? Maybe somewhere around here. Okay, that was my long position. We enter the trade, stop loss at this low. If price comes back down to this low at this point, then my trade thesis is invalidated because at that point, we are most likely going to continue down lower, continuing this lower low and lower high trend. But my thesis behind this trade, and by the way, before you get into a trade, you guys need to have a trade thesis. Okay, this is what you expect price to do and why. So before I get into this trade, my trade thesis is that selling pressure has stopped. Okay, we're retesting a key structure level, right? If we go to like a weekly time frame, we created a lower low, but with a bullish divergence. My thesis is that the low is in at this point. The low is in, and we are going to continue to the upside. We also had another form of confluence as well. We had this bearish fair value gap here. If I remove this zone, okay, we had this bearish fair value gap, right? 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle with this gap in the middle that we inversed, okay, closing above. So order flow has shifted from bearish to bullish. I'll do another video on fair value gaps, specifically inverse fair value gaps as well, and why they're a great entry confirmation. You guys don't really need to know that for the strategy, but that also confirmed to me that, yeah, price is going to reverse from here. You know, this is a V-shaped reversal, you know, sweeping that low, reclaiming, and going back up to the upside. So let me draw this out for you real quick and just show you what to look for. It'll look something like this, where you have one low, and then you have a lower low, and then you have the reclaim of this low right here. Okay, so you have your pivot low, okay? You make a lower low while the momentum is increasing to the upside, okay? This is also called an uneven butt cheek pattern if you guys listen to Jason Casper, right? So price and momentum are doing the opposite. As soon as price reclaims that pivot low, okay, right here, as soon as price closes above, that is where you will enter the trade. Stop loss at the previous low that you've just made, and you are targeting these highs as your take profit levels. Just to make the visual a little bit more clear so you guys know exactly what you're looking for when you're using this strategy. Now, I find that this method works very, very well on a higher time frame, like on a daily time frame. You're not going to find a setup using this every single day, especially if you're on a daily time frame. But when you do see this, this is a really good bottom formation that I see play out like 99% of the time. And especially when you are on a daily time frame, right, a higher time frame where these divergences most of the time play out, it's just more confirmation. So again, this was my trade entry, and these are my take profit levels, right? Simply targeting these structure highs. So TP1, TP2, and TP3 would be right here. So we are almost at TP3. And also when I enter using this strategy, I also like to use something I call dollar cost averaging. So instead of just having, you know, one order, I'll have like 2 entries. So the first entry will be right here, and the second entry will be in between my stop loss and my first entry, just in case we get one more retest here and then continue higher. But again, I have a hard stop loss right at this low, because if price hits this low, then my thesis is invalidated. So again, you will need the easy oscillator indicator for this trading strategy. This is a momentum indicator that I have personally coded for my trading strategy. We have over 500 users that are using this on a daily basis, crushing the markets, crypto, stocks, Forex, doesn't matter. But it's very important that you see the momentum in the markets to confirm that this is a valid bullish reclaim. If momentum is doing something like this, right, making a lower low as price is making a lower low, then we're most likely going to continue lower. But because we have that bullish divergence, it adds a lot more confluence. Also, if I turn on my easy algo trading indicator here, we have the multi-time frame support and resistance zones. So this makes it a lot easier and a lot more clear for you guys. My algo will remove the guesswork in finding these levels. So all you're looking for, again, you have this key support zone, right? We fail this level and we reclaim. So as soon as we reclaim and flip this as support, we're back, okay? We're back in the longs. So let me go into replay mode here. Okay, so in real time, this is what it will look like, right? You have your key level, right? Higher time frame support zone. We're waiting for price to reclaim. On this candle, we reclaim that zone, okay? Enter the long position, stop loss at this low. And then you just set your take profits and that's it, right? You're chilling. You don't have to manage a trade. You don't micromanage the trade while you're in it. You have your take profit set beforehand and you let the trade play out. You got to let your thesis play out. That's going to be it for the trade recap for Flocky. This is one of many trades that we are calling inside of the Pro Discord. So not only are you guys going to get access to all of these signals and setups in real time, you're also going to get access to the indicators on my screen here, as well as daily live streams and a lot more. So make sure you click the first link in the description below if you guys are interested in really taking your trading to the next level. Leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel for more trading content. I'm going to be dropping a ton of sauce on here in the near future, and I'll see you guys next video.